So magandang araw sa lahat ng nanonood ng Scout Ranger Stories, no? Ako ay si Brigadier General Ronnie Babak, no, ng 10th Infantry Brigade dito sa 10th Infantry Division na nakadeploy dito sa Mako, Davao de Oro. Ang aking interview ngayon is nagbibigay pugay sa aking mga dating tao sa 77th Infantry Battalion na aking pinanggalingan nung ako ay batang tenyente pa at bagong graduate sa PMA. No? Noon, mga panahon na yon ay nakadeploy kami sa Southern Isabela, or Southern Municipalities ng Isabela, ng municipalities ng Jones, San Agustin, and of course in the province of Quirino. Isang malaking encounter yung nangyari noong January 24, no, noong 1998, na kung saan dahil sa isang information na aking na-receive, no, na ang grupo ng mga rebelde, no, under the tinatawag na Nueva Vizcaya Quirino San Agustin Front Committee ay nandun lang sa isang 3 or 4 na sityo, no, ng barangay Villa Gracia, Madela, Quirino. So with that information, inorganize ko yung tropa, and since kabisado ko yung area, instead of just following, no, kulang yung ilog na paakyat na upstream, I decided to have my line of departure, no. Doon ako mag-start maglalakad sa upper part ng municipality ng Madela sa barangay Ismael, I think, or part ng Disimungal. So with that, because na-internalize ko, no, yung mga tactics na na-absorb ko sa aking mga tropa, no, at most of them are graduate ng regular course ng Scout Ranger, no, because yung 77 IB, dati yung 40 Scout Ranger Battalion, no. Nung 70s, 16 IB siya, na naka-deploy sa Mindanao, then naging Mountain Battalion, then naging 77 Battalion, then eventually naging 40 Scout Ranger Battalion, then eventually 77 Battalion. So, ayun, no, I decided to have my line of departure there so that yung suspected na enemy location, pababa ako, no? Because it's been our practice sa company na we always occupy high ground kung mag-harboring kami, no? Because we cannot sacrifice security. So, we left our camp around 10 o'clock ng gabi, no? So from Dabubu Grande, na barangay Dabubu Grande, San Agustin, dire-diretso na kami going towards barangay Ismael. Then we were there, dumating kami doon sa LD namin, siguro mga almost 3 o'clock in the morning na. Then we started walking, following the trail. Then eventually around 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I decided na mag-harbor na kami. And dahil yung targeted area, encounter area is overlooking na namin, pero medyo malayo pa. So that is around 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Then around 3 o'clock, nung nag-OP yung isang tropa ko, na binabayno niya yung area, nakita niya na mayroong mga tao doon sa, specifically in Sitio Jalanis, Barangay Villa Gracia. So, nireport niya sa akin, so sabi ko, anong tingin mo, sir? Parang parang armado yung mga tao doon. So, around 3 o'clock, I decided to go down, no? Malayo pa yun, mga siguro 1 kilometer pa pababa. Then, nung pa-approach na kami doon sa encounter area, may troops, may lead scout of course, we also graduate ng regular class ng Ranger. No, we cross that part of the river na malalim, no? The most unexpected part of that river na doon kayo mag-cross. Kasi yung dinadaanan ng mga civilian ng taga doon is yung tuod, the usual community na sa gilid ng ilog, hanggang tuhod lang. Pero yung tinawiran namin hanggang, I cannot forget it, no? Halos hanggang dibdib. So, nabasa kami noon. So, nung nakatawid na kami lahat, nung nakasampa na kami doon sa medyo puntod, no? Around siguro mga 100 yung elevation na maliit na hill. I cannot forget, no? Merong isang matanda na nag-aararo at napakalakas yung palo niya sa kalabaw. Yeah! Parang grabe talaga. So, I cannot forget. Grabe naman to, parang ano. But later on, na-realize ko, yun pala, pasabilis na yun. So sabi ko, i-occupy i-hit yung high ground, siguro mga 200 meters away. So as we were already, walking towards that high ground, so yung lead scout kasi, ang SOP kasi sa kumpanya, no, sa 77 IB, talagang, yung lead scout at saka guide, nauuna yan ng mga 20 meters. Tapos kasunod yung team leader, nasa likuran ako palagi. It's been our SOP. Kasi nga, usually pag meeting engagement, para ikaw may malakas yung, how many times, I have, I think, 4 or 5 encounters nung sa kumpanya ko. Very effective kasi pag nabunggo yung lead scout sa one guide, madali ka makakommand. Sa likuran ko yung radio operator, then yung 60, maka-forward ka agad, maka-support ka. So, with that, sighting, yung paakyat na kami. Then suddenly yung former rebel, no, may bit-bit pala akong nag-surrender, no. Nag-jump off kami kasi siya rin yung nagsabi sa akin kung nandoon yung kalaban, nandoon yung enemy location. Sabi niya sa akin, "Sir, yung mga nagbabayo, tinuro niya sa baba. Is mga NPA na yon," sabi niya. So ako naman, dahil yung packet na kami sa doon kung saan nakuha yung katawan ni Kaigan, sumigal ng lead scout ko, si Corporal Pablo, sabi niya, patay ka na, sabi niya. So, ayun, no, nakita ko may nakita ako doon nakatayo, hawak niya yung, nakatalikod siya, nakafatig. Tapos, sa may dulo ng M16, no, sa right hand, nakaganon siya. Then may nakita rin ako mga tao na nag-akbuhan, papunta ng gubat. So ako hastily, in haste, bumaba na rin ako and I joined my second team para babaan namin yung mga sinabi nung guide na yung nagbabayon, mga NPA na daw yun. So yung first team na nag-handle nun, yung team leader na. So as we approach the kubo, so sa low ground, nakipag-link up na ako sa siguro malapit na mga 20 meters. Mag-isa akong humiwalay sa first team. Pag na rin yung second team, join na ako, pababa na kami, naka-skirmisher na kami. Then, na-confuse yung mga NPA, hindi sila umalis ng kubo, no? Doon lang sila, dahil nagbabayo nga. Pero yung mga mga ilungot, nag-alisan. Nag-alisan yung mga ilungot. So yung naiwan doon, mga NPA na yun. Then suddenly, lumabas yung isang lalaki. Later on, ang pangalan niya, Sammy Guway. Tapos yun, I cannot forget, "Sir, Solendel," sabi niya. So captured yun. Then isang Amazona, later on we identified her to be Jacqueline Duran of Carolwe. So, nung pagpasok ko na, andun yung mga baril, inulan na kami ng 203. Yung encounter na, binanatan na kami. Si Rolway, nahila namin, pababa. Then, nakuha yung mga armas. Then, it led to around siguro 10 to 15 minutes fight. So, yung pala, yung FGU ng ng NVQSA under Carol Dan, nandun sila sa high ground. So, yun na, bukbukan na yon. So, yung 16 na dala ko, plus the 14, talagang sinupress namin yung fire for around maybe 30 minutes. So, nung wala ng putukan, sabi ko, pag hindi natin i-clear ngayon to, babalikan nila yan. Una, alam ko napatay si Kaigan, natumba yung nung binaril siya. Because during my previous encounters, after na encounter ng hapon o meeting engagement, pag hindi mo i-clear yun, kinagabihan, babalikan nila yun. No? Baka may baril na naiwan o kukunin nila yung kasamahan nila na namatay o nasugatan. So in short, around 5 o'clock, cleaner namin yung area, the usual fire and maneuver. Then yung tropa na M16 lang ang baril, iniwan ko yon para bantayan yung captured. Then inipin ko lahat ng M14, 203. So, yung fire and maneuver, the usual, pinagbag namin yung high ground ng 60, inulan 203. Yung 203 ko, siguro mga 8 or 10 rounds yung naiputo ko. Because during those times, as Lieutenant 77 IB, yung automatic na baril ng isang tenyente is M16 with baby 203, no? Automatic yung bala ko na 12 rounds or 24 rounds, then one basic load. So, because of that encounter, no, it resulted to the recovery of several firearms, no? 4 firearms, I think, no, 4. Then, of course, and several, so many documents. And, of course, bala, then, mga magazines, of course, yung katawan ni Kaigan. So, nung after that, na maklear namin, nakuha namin lahat, magdidilim na, so siguro 5:30 to 6, I decided to move ng konti, kasi alam niya nandun kami, baka gapangin kami ng gabi, nag-move kami ng konti, siguro mga 300 meters, doon kami nag-harbor, so overnight yon, walang tulog, because of the fear, kasi hindi ba kami makaakyat ng high ground, medyo madilim na. So, doon kami sa medyo pungtod sa may ilog, then may defensive position, kasi meron namang parang, tawag sa Ilocano yun, parang bakras, ganun. So the following day, maaga pa, I cannot forget, I were advised that we may be ambushed, baka ambusin daw kami doon sa along the way, kasi yung Sitio Jalanis, no, for you to reach the sentro ng Barangay Villagracia, you have to cross it around 20 times, no. It's been my area of responsibility. So fortunately, the barangay residents arrived, and with them, may dala silang sledge, no, yung nila ng kalabaw. Doon namin dinala yung sinakay yung katawan ni Kaigan, no, until lumabas kami ng poblasyon Villagracia, poblasyon Medela. Then yung katawan ni Kaigan was brought doon sa munisipyo, doon sa gym ng Medela, sa munisipyo. So from there, si Rolwe at saka si Carolwe at saka si Sami Guway, no, yung isang captured, dinala namin sa battalion, and we took them care, no, maayos namin sa kanila pag-handle. Then this operation, no, it led to napakaraming opportunities. Napakarami kasi una, because of good handling kay Rolwe, si Carol Dan, nung nalaman niya na maganda yung, after learning na yung asawa niya is ni-rape daw, hindi naman totoo, pinatay at tinapon sa ilog ng katawan. What we did, we documented her daily activities sa headquarters. And there is an agreed area kung saan makita, no, yung video, pinanood sa kanya na buhay yung misis niya, party wife niya. So eventually, si Carol Dan with his around 5 or 6 comrades surrendered to the battalion. And later on, gusto nilang makasal ng legal. So pinakasal namin sila doon with, of course, with top government officials of Isabela and Quirino. Nag-attend noon doon, I cannot forget that. Of course, during this time, ang aking battalion commander, si Sir Rolly Tinefrancia pala. So, because of that good deeds na ginawa ng batalyon sa kanilang mag-asawa, eventually, Caigan surrendered more firearms. More, I think more than 10. No? Then, eventually, yung naka-disciplinary status or action na secretary ng Nueva Vizcaya Quirino San Agustin Front Committee, because of the information that we gathered as a result of effective handling nila Rolway and Samiguay, including the exploitation of the notebook na hawak nila, na-capture sa Bulacan, no? Of course, intelligence operatives na yun ng Philippine Army na based doon sa Metro Manila. Then eventually, yung wife ni Caigan, yung acting secretary, surrendered, no? Si Jacqueline, if I cannot forget her name, no? Si Janet Laudato Ibanez, no? Surrender siya with her M653 by Vermalite. So, yung mga recovered documents namin, ito, learning naman ito, no? For the young officers, no? Yung mga recovered documents is napaka-importante, no? Because of that recovered documents, we were able to unearth the disposition ng disposition ng armas ng mga NVQ. No, what they did, distribute nila sa kanilang mga masa or supporter, or we call here in 10ID, militia ng bayan, yung mga armas nila. At we have the list, the name, the location, and with tatlong Class 94 na company commanders, no, si Boquerin, Nice Diaz, and the current Chief of Staff 10ID, Vince Mantilan, they were able to harvest all the firearms that were distributed by Caigan or by the NVQ to their mass base, no. Yung mga baril na yan, no, as far as Biroc, no, Nueva Vizcaya, Malabing, Kasibu, Nueva Vizcaya, sa Quirino, Salvador de Isabela. So, marami yun, no? Not less than 30 firearms yung nakuha noon doon. So, eventually, I was flattered kasi I found out that the encounter that I led on January 24, 1998 led to the dismantling of the Nueva Vizcaya Quirino San Agustin Front Committee by the Northern Luzon Command, no, during their order of battle workshop in Tarlac. So, with that, no, with my experience sa 77 IB, na most of my troops, no, lalo yung mga senior ko, puro mga member ng 40th RB, malaking tulong sa aking career, yung pagiging na-expose ako sa mga graduate ng SRTS, no. Dahil, sabi ko nga, na-properly ko yung aking pagiging company commander. And eventually, when I was the battalion commander, I was quite strict, no, sa aking mga company commanders, lieutenants. During combat operation, I have to ensure that they have to be in control of their men. I have to ensure na they have to position themselves the first team palagi. So, of course, I'd like also I'm doing this also, once again, no, to express my thanks sa aking tropa sa Alpha Company 77 IB. Of course, to the whole battalion, no? Of course, to my mga dati kong officers na nakasama doon, no? Especially to my former battalion commanders, no? The late Colonel Oliveros, and Sir Rolly Tinefrancia, and of course to my mista na kasama ko rin doon si Layo Pagaduan and si Tony Ico. And of course, most especially to my troops in Alpha Company 77 IB. No, I stayed in the company for almost 4 years. No, I was never, hindi ako na-rotate. So just imagine, matagal kami magkasama ng aking tropa sa Alpha Company. Without them, no, without their mga kunting pasaway, no, hindi rin ako nag-matured, no, on how to handle my men, no, how to hone my skill in tactical, so-called tactical leadership. So, thank you for the opportunity, no, Dennis, for this interview.
Bok, I've always respected you kasi nagkasabay tayo sa area eh. Mga young and dashing, young lieutenants tayo pareho noon eh. And I've always respected you kasi yung I always saw you noon, naka 203 yung mista ako naka baby Armalite. Pero I've always in-observe kita from a distance dahil nasa, si General Babak was with the 77th IB and I was with the 5th Scout Ranger Company. Pero Bok, sinadya kita dito because I know how you valued your men from the very start eh. Because, one star ka dito, one of the youngest generals ng Armed Forces, ng Army, Cavalier Award. Mamaya, isang kwento rin yun. Pero pwede ba ikwento mo, dun sa specific encounter lang na yun, what you learned about combat leadership and how much yung NCOs played a role in the success of yung operations mo?
Yes, very important, no? Actually, I also shared this during company commander and battalion commander symposium. As an officer, by positioning yourself doon sa likod ng first team leader, is you are actually telling them that I share the risk that you are facing. Iba yung pakiramdam ng lead scout at guide. Pag alam nila, several steps away, andun yung officer nila. So, at the same time, yung tropa na nasa likod will always say na si CEO nga, si Lieutenant Babakan, nandun sa harap tayo dito, mag-properly rin tayo. So, very important yung NCO leadership, no, sa ating mga sundalo, lalo na itong mga bagong sundalo natin, PFC and private, talagang tinitingala sila. So, they should be a model to them, no? Sila dapat ang magdisiplina sa kanilang mga maglilit at magdisiplina sa kanilang mga junior, no? Siguro yung encounter na yon, kung hindi namin sinunod yung basic ng combat SOPs para hindi ma-compromise, siguro pag tumawid kami doon sa mababaw, na-compromise kami. So doon
explain mo yung terrain. Pareho tayo. Alam ko yung terrain mo. Nabubo Grande, blah, blah, blah. Alam ko yan
yung terrain kasi, itong Barangay Villagracia kasi, if you're going to that barangay, you have to cross the river around more than 15 times. So, nakakatawa doon kasi I cannot forget, ang inaayos doon ni Mayor, late Mayor Ninong Ray Ilanan ng Mandela, no, is hindi yung kalsada, but yung bato doon sa ilog para ma-arrange yung bato doon para makadaan pa rin yung mga jampulan doon, mga elk, para makapasok doon sa farthest barangay, farthest sitio. So, what I did, so in short, yung yung Barangay Villagracia, it is in between two mountains. Ilog siya sa gitna, tapos puro high ground yan. Talagang siya. Ang term dyan ng tropa is para kang nasa gitna ng palayok, no? Nung ka lang, So, because of that, terrain analysis, sabi ko kung ang gagawin ko to attack the enemy, to go with the enemy location, to go there, is the usual thing, punta ka ng barangay, tapos tawid ng ilog, sabi ko nga, pag sa PMA pa yan, no? Parang pasamasid, doon ka pa lang sa bungad, alam na ng kalaban ng ka. So with that operation, because napakaganda ng information, I decided to bypass that daanan ng mga civilian. So what I did, umikot ako. pupunta ako ng Barangay Ismael, then pababa. Eventually, this practice, no, i-share ko lang na lang. Nung batalyon commander ako, nung nakuha namin yung leadership ng Guerrilla Front 75 dito sa Alabel, Sarangani Province, is the same. When I was briefed by my S3 na ang axis of advance ganito, dito dyan, sabi ko, why not dito sa likod? Magagaling kayo ng Malungon. Sabi ko, sir, masyadong mataas dyan. Yung bundok, ganito, ganyan. Eh, infantry tayo, walang no-go terrain sa atin. So, it's the same, no? The enemy, the leadership of Guerrilla Front 75 never expected na yung tropa ng 73rd IB, especially the scout platoon, no? I give honor, by the way, to Lieutenant Sanchez. Ano yun? Graduate rin ng regular class yun, no? Late Lieutenant Sanchez. So, same, no? Same principle. You have to pass the route or you have to use the route which is least expected. Ganon na ganon. Kasi kahit yung kalaban nandyan, alam natin nandyan. But the challenge is how to hit them undetected ka. So yun ang challenge. As commander in the ground, lalo sa mga second lieutenant, yes, kalaban nandyan. Pero paano ka makarating doon na hindi ka makompromise? Yun ang challenge. So it takes a lot of sacrifice. Aakyat kayo ng high ground, maglalakad kayo ng gabi. Incidentally again, when I was nasa 77 ako, pagkagat ng dilim, maglalakad na kami. At maghihinto kami ng mga alas 12 launa, matutulog na sa gilid ng kalsada. Then maramdaman mo, may nagtiktalaok, yung pala, 4:30 or 4 o'clock in the morning na. Then hanap na ng harboring. During daytime, nakasingit kami sa gubat. No? Doon kami naka-harboring. For us to hindi ma-compromise. So yung basic na combatist office ng Ranger, talagang naano ko yun, na-internalize ko because of my NCOs, no? Sa especially my first sergeant, no, sa Alpha Company kay Jimwell Manzano. Of course, lahat, no. I give honor also to Sergeant Galian, my operation NCO. Late Sergeant Galian, no, taga Santiago City yan siya, namatay na. But he's one of my best team leader or platoon sergeant. So eventually I made him as my operation sergeant. So yun, no, very important yung NCO leadership. Dahil of course kayo yung unang tinitingala ng ating mga junior soldiers, no, mga private and mga PFCs and private.
Bok, can you won the highest award ng PMA as PMA Cavalier Awardee for 2017 for your performance as 73rd IB Commander. Bok, for the benefit of our battalion commanders and those who will, the next generation, pakiano mo lang, Bok, yung how you earned that thing, that award, na very prestigious, and what lessons did you apply from, of course, nasabi mo na yung iba, from your younger years, our younger years noon, para kasi yan yung ultimate na award kasi for us.
Okay, Bok, no, yes, no, I was the Cavalier Awardee 2017, no, standing alumni ng PMA. Number one na in retrospect, when I was battalion commander, I was very passionate and committed as commander. No, my mission will always be first ng mga panahon na yon, and I have to ensure that also always I have to take care the welfare of my men. Because, of course, I cannot also forget one of my mentors, no? When he told us that motivation is everything. So, yung mga learning ko during my younger years, no? Lalo na sa 77 IB, is very useful when I was a battalion commander. I know what they feel, no? Because yun rin ang inaasam namin, mga tinyente kami. So I'm very hands-on, and most often, very often, no, hinahatid ko sa LD yung tropa. Hinahatid ko sila doon. Then yung simple ano lang, good luck, happy hunting. I cannot forget those words ng former battalion commander ko. The word, happy hunting. Then, at the same time is, you have to, as battalion commander ng 73rd noon, kahit papaano yung your credibility to your men has to be sustained and should be always na nandun dapat. No? So, sabi ko nga, no, kung busy yung S2 and S3 sa TCP, nagmamonitor ng TCP, dapat our S1, the personnel officer, including our supplier super officer, should also be busy in how to perform their basic tasks. No, so ibig ko sabihin, dapat pag nag-operate, may score, no? Hindi yung pagbaba pa lang ng tropa, saka pa lang gagawin yung award. Dapat, pagbaba pa lang ng tropa, isalubong na yung award nila. Kahit minimum man lang na letter of recommendation. For the supply officer, ay dapat, you have to ensure that the supplies are abundant, the vehicles that will be used, no, when bababa na yung tropa, has to be planned well, no, for the supply operation, including the backtracking or withdrawal from the combat operation. So, when I was a battalion commander, I'm quite passionate to my work, no, and of course it led to several, talking engagement, no, speaking engagement during Battalion Commander Symposium, Company Commander Symposium, as directed by the Philippine Army during my time.
Para sa kabataan, Bok, please direct this to yung succeeding generation.
Okay.
For those who want to serve our country.
Yeah. Para sa mga kabataan, no, you should love your country, be patriotic, no, and ready to serve the nation. To the young officers din na medyo natulungan ko para maging officer or magpasok ng PMA, I always tell them na serve the nation well, serve the country well, sabi ko lagi sa kanila, because we owe our education, no, sa PMA and our training sa OCS and other training institution, OPC, to the Filipino people. And there's no other way but to serve the people, because yun ang expectation, no, nila sa atin bilang member ng armed forces, that we should be in a higher moral high ground, sabi nga nila. Because yun ang expectation sa atin bilang isang sundalo na magde-depend sa ating bansa from any, kahit saan galing na threat, para ma-ensure natin yung tinatawag lang kalinaw or kapayapaan dito sa ating bansa.